Okay, yeah, I think we're live now. Hello, welcome everyone. I am Mishika from DoraHacks and super excited to kick off the Taiko Grand Factory. Yeah, with amazing partners like Taiko and more, we're able to get the best dev opportunities for you. And today, for this opening ceremony live stream, we have with us Xavier and Jorin. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining us today. And like I said, I would love to throw some light on the Grand Factory and then probably pass it to both of these guys here who know it a lot better than me. But yeah, the price pool that we have for you for this one is 100K USD, and we just kicked off, so we have 52 days for submission. Put on your hacker hats, start looking into the criterias, what you want to build, the ideas, the business ideas, building a community, and all of that. It's going to be the a crazy 52-day journey. But a little bit about Taiko. It's we've been big on the scaling narrative and the ZK narrative, which is exactly what Taiko plays around. It's a Type 1 based rollup that scales Ethereum in a manner that sort of immaculates Ethereum as closely as possible. And it's a Ethereum equivalent ZK rollup scaling Ethereum by supporting all EVM opcodes. So that sorts of expands your playing ground a lot. For this one, we have a couple of tracks and bounties. The two bounty partners are Himera and Gold Sky. So, but yeah, with that being said, I'd now love to invite Xavier uh, and Jorin to talk more about it. Jorin will probably be kicking it off, and then we'll have Xavier. And yeah, we also have Sammy in the live stream. But yeah, off to you now, Jorin.
Thank you so much for the intro. I'm going to share my screen here and we'll get right into it. All right, you guys can see my screen. Perfect. All right.
Yes,
Thank you so
let's
much,
go.
everybody, for joining. I'm super excited to be kicking this off. Um, yeah, this is the first dedicated hackathon for Taiko. And I wanted to set it up in a little bit, maybe of a different way from hackathons that I've seen and done in the past. And so we've called it the Grant Factory. And so we're going to talk about all the particulars and the aspects of the hackathon. But first of all, I wanted to say a big thank you to Himera, Gold Sky, and DoraHacks for partnering with us to make all of this happen. And we're going to get into what the partner bounties are a little bit in a second. But as you guys probably already know, DoraHacks is the platform that we're using. So that's how you're going to be able to submit all of your projects and find out all of the details about that. And so we're going to talk about a little bit more on how you submit your project towards the end as well. Just wanted to give you a high level understanding of what Taiko is. Ishika already gave you a little bit of information on us, but in case we're new to you, we are a Taiko, we are an Ethereum equivalent rollup. We are a type 1 rollup, and we aim to scale Ethereum to the best of our ability, while at the same time maintaining the same security guarantees and liveness as Ethereum. We are based, and that is a term that you'll probably start hearing more and more in this space. Because instead of having a centralized sequencer to propose blocks and transactions to the mainnet, we offload that to the L1 nodes themselves. And so instead of taking value away from Ethereum, our goal is to put value back onto Ethereum and build really closely alongside in terms of philosophy and as well as in terms of technology. Some of our core principles that we have close to our heart and guide everything that we do is number one, we want to be permissionless. We want to make it so that everybody is open and welcome to participate. Decentralization is, a core tenet, which is why we wanted to. Oh, another reason why we wanted to put use the vast decentralized node network of the Ethereum ecosystem to sequence our blocks. Security first, we're building on Ethereum, and our architecture allows us to maintain the same security guarantees that Ethereum provides. And we're also very community aligned. We love to talk about our amazing community. We have one of the largest communities on Discord in the whole crypto space. And so huge shout out to all of you folks all around the world that are tuning in and hopefully joining in on the hackathon. A little bit more about what the Grant Factory means. As the name kind of suggests, is we are in the business of creating grants. We want at the end of this hackathon for great projects to be deployed on Taiko, but also we want those projects to have the support that they need to build on into the future. So we want to focus on making businesses instead of making hackathon projects. And so that's the main design focus here. And we're also extending like the concept of a business or an organization to nonprofits as well, so that we have a track that encourages people that are building public goods and things that don't typically have your straightforward kind of revenue model. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. We aim to provide obviously technical support. We have a great, strong team that wants to support you in building your projects on a technical level. But as I mentioned, we want to focus on businesses and what it means to build a business in the Web3 space. And we also have a large grant treasury that we want to open up to all the great projects that are going to be coming out of the hackathon. And so our grant committee team is going to be involved, giving you guys some feedback and support and ideas on how to build the best grant possible, so that you're set up for success to get that funding after the hackathon. So there's immediate incentives for winning the hackathon, and then we have long-term incentives for building great businesses and grant proposals. Some of the key dates is we're kicking things off right now. You could actually start submitting your projects as of yesterday. Pardon me. But we'll be building for approximately 2 months up until November 17th. And that will be the cutoff date from which point we will begin the judging process. And we'll talk a bit more about how that's going to go. Here's a rough timeline. We're kicking things off this week, introducing you to Taiko. We're going to go through the bounty explanations, and we're hoping new teams are going to be formed. So if you're watching this right now and you're just curious and maybe you have some skills as a developer, or maybe you have some skills as a designer, or maybe you're a business development person. Like, we need all of these types of people to make successful projects. And so if you're solo right now, you're going to make your way over to our Discord and start talking about some of your ideas and meeting some other people and forming teams. And you can pitch your ideas there to find people to build alongside. And then in the next 2 to 4 weeks, we're going to have some workshops and talks workshops and talks that I mentioned before around. We're going to have some of our partners give technical workshops on how to build using their technology. We're going to have some of our business folks come in and give you some entrepreneurial mentorship. And like I said, the grants team is going to be there as well to give you feedback. And that's going to carry over into week 5 and 6, where you'll have an opportunity to submit your grant proposals early for us to take a look through, provide some feedback, so you have some time to refine it before the final submission. And I think that's going to be very valuable to set you up for success moving forward, is to have a really good, refined, polished grant proposal. And then week 7 is when you'll have the deadline, and all your project submissions will come in, and then we'll start the judging process. Now for the fun bit. Everybody wants to know what are the tracks, what are the prizes, how much can I get out of this? So we are happy to put up $100,000 worth of prizes just from the Taiko side. We're going to be talking about the bounties on top of that. But we're dividing that 100K up into 3 tracks. We have the work hard, play hard, do good tracks. As you can imagine, work hard. These are just some rough ideas. You can expand on those ideas there. But there's DeFi, AI, real world assets. DAOs also fit into the work hard area. And then you have the play hard, all the, I mean, not to say working hard isn't fun too, but all the fun stuff, the gaming projects, the NFTs, Telegram bots, Discord bots, prediction markets. Socialify is something that we're really interested to foster on Taiko. I think it's a pretty interesting vertical that is still burgeoning in the space and hasn't been cracked really well yet. So we're looking to see some cool projects in that area. And then in the do good track, I'm also really excited about this. Social impact, regenerative finance, public goods, just broadly speaking, better UX is as a public good, I think is a topic that I'm interested to see about. We talk a lot about in the space onboarding the next X amount of users, and that's typically going to come through being able to use the technology better. So better UX is a huge piece of that. Um, yeah, so that 100K is going to be divided across those three tracks in 30K chunks, and 20K of that is going to be decided by judges. And then the other 10K is going to be decided by community vote. And we'll talk a little bit more about how that is going to work towards the end. But we really wanted to maintaining that community centric, that community focus as one of our core principles. We wanted to give the community an opportunity to participate in seeing and supporting the projects that they want to see come out of the hackathon. So already building communities for these businesses that are going to be coming out. It's very worth mentioning that the as we've structured it to a hackathon that leads into a grant, that 50% of the prize money is going to be given upfront. And then the remainder of the 50% is going to be divided amongst your grant milestones. So there's going to be at least 3 milestones that take your project out for 6 months, so like 2 4 6 months milestones, and they will have certain KPIs, certain metrics that need to be hit in order to unlock those tranches of funds. So we're really trying to align incentives and make sure that you guys are well taken care of in moving forward and building these projects. On top of all of that, we set 10K aside for special awards to really highlight and reward people that stand out or projects that stand out. So things like the best business idea, most community support, most impressive grant proposals, so on and so forth. So those five special awards will be doled out in 2K increments. And on top of everything else, there's these non-financial awards, which you're going to be able to connect with our VC community. We have a lot of folks that are looking to support projects inside this space outside of what we're offering for the hackathon. So getting some exposure to these people, maybe you have the next big idea and you're going to have some VCs knocking on your door. That's at least my hope for all of the projects coming out of here. You're going to get honorable mentions in the case that you maybe don't win a top prize. Regardless, you're gonna if you leave an impression on us, we want to amplify that project and still encourage you to continue building. So you're going to get some good support from us in our Twitter and blog. And lastly, one of the incentives for you is the Trailblazer program. So right now we have the Trailblazer program is designed to incentivize users, but also dApps. And so we have two different leaderboards, one for regular users that are using dApps and one for the dApps to compete amongst themselves to build the best projects that users want to use. And so we have about 10% of the entire Taiko token supply set aside for this program that's going to be lasting several years and broken up into seasons. And so we just started season 2. And we are going to have we have another massive pool. Each season is going to have a pool of tokens that are set aside strictly for dApps. And so if you're going to be a project coming out of here and you're deploying on mainnet, then you would also you would also be eligible to gain additional funds through this program, provided that you compete against the other dApps on the protocol, on the blockchain. Yes, and this hackathon is going to be ending towards the end of the second season. So you would be right in position to be launching for the third season and have a great chance in that. Um, quickly about qualifications. In order to qualify, you're going to have to deploy your project to Taiko mainnet. That is a must, unless in an extreme circumstance, the Taiko mainnet doesn't have all of the features because we are in active development and we have lots of cool things coming down the line, like pre-confirmations and great optimizations that will be on Hecla first. And so if you need to rely on those, we understand deploying on Hecla would be the only option for you. But for most projects, we are going to require you to deploy on mainnet. You're also going to have to submit a grant application to with all your milestones and all of that. That takes you out 6 months. That is a requirement. And we're also wanting to make sure that we're guarding our treasury and only giving out projects that meet all of the qualifications. So we would reserve the right to not give it out if not enough projects have those qualifications. Submissions are going to have to include a detailed project description outlining what problems you're solving, how you're solving them, giving us also a demo video for us to whitelist you for the live judging part, which I'll talk a bit more later. You're also, I mean, I think this probably goes without saying, but just so it's explicit, you're meant to play nice in the sandbox. You know, don't use other people's code. Don't without crediting them. Don't be mean in the chats. You know, we want projects to adhere to strict ethical standards and we'll be looking out for plagiarism and the like. And another very key piece to mention here is we also are accepting existing projects. So if you have a project on another blockchain, we're welcoming you to join. The caveat being we want to see something new coming and being deployed on Taiko. It can't just be a copy pasta from one chain to the next. We want to be known as a place of innovation. So if you have this burning idea of a new feature for your app, build it as a project within the hackathon and deploy it first to Taiko and let us be kind of your stage to debut these new features on. A note on judging, I mentioned that the first phase will be an initial screening. So we're going to take a look through the projects and make sure, again, you're not plagiarizing, you're following the ethical standards. You have a demo video and that problem solution outline that we're looking for. Once you've passed all those kind of those checks, you'll then be invited to come to the live judging portion. Which you'll then be able to give a presentation. We'll be able to ask you some questions, and that sort of thing. And then after that, we'll be recording these and releasing them to the public, at least the ones that we want to make it to the community round. So you'll be whitelisted for the community round, and then the community will vote on those projects, and we'll have an idea of who's getting which prizes from the community side versus the judges side, and then there will be the paperwork stuff to go through, the KYC, so on and so forth. Um, it's also worth mentioning that even if you don't win one of the top prizes in the hackathon, you are still eligible for getting a grant. So if we have so many projects that the top prizes go to somewhere else, but your project is still great in our eyes, and we want to approve you for a grant as well. So that's why it's important to do both in all of these things and submit a really polished grant. Okay. I've prattled on for long enough. I want to kick it off and send it to some of our bounty partners. We have Sammy here from Hemera, and we have Javier here from Gold Sky. I'm going to send it over to Sammy first to talk about the Hemera bounty and what they're looking for, and then we'll jump over to Javier. See you guys later.
Thank you, Jorin. Do you mind to stop sharing so that I can share my screen? Cool. Can you see my screen? All right.
Looks good.
Oh, great. Cool. So, hi everyone. My name is Sammy. I'm the co-founder of Hamira. Very excited to join Taiko's Hackathon Open ceremony today. And my colleague Shantanu and myself will introduce how you can build with Hamira in this hackathon and our bounty details. So at Hamira, we are tackling the challenge of how to read data from blockchains. And what we are building is more than just data indexing infrastructure. Our key innovation here is the account-centric indexing, which is a novel standard that makes it easier and more efficient for developers to retrieve data from blockchains. And our solution to the complexity of blockchain data is through this new abstraction layer, account-centric indexing. This helps you guys bypass the heterogeneity of underlying data structures and smart contracts across different environments. So what is account-centric account-level abstraction and user-defined function in our Hamira network? So for example, for each swap transaction, usually what you can index is the raw data from a blockchain node, and you want to understand like key elements, including the sender, buy token, sell token, respective amounts, dollar value, etc., right, in a typical abstraction. But here, what's more important is to understand how the transaction would impact your overall user profile. And we help you to understand that. So for example, a swap could alter your token balance, your change in trading volume, history, or increase your total gas spent on chain, or adds to your number of on-chain interactions history as well. So Hamira encapsulates all these account level features and changes from transactions in a semantic and standardized format, and we describe them as features. So with Hamira, 99% of developer could simply use our built-in feature library, which cover a wide range of semantic data. And developer, you can directly access metrics like trading volume, TVL, P&L, or the number of forecaster followers without needing to crunch raw on-chain data yourself. And by using this UDF generated value, which we call features, you no longer need to wrestle with the low-level complexities of other indexing solution. Instead, you can focus on building the core logic of your applications. And this level of flexibility can mean that whether you are building a DeFi, gaming, or social app, you can easily tailor the data indexing to your specific needs with minimum coding effort. And Hamira makes this possible through a functional interface that use user-defined function, UDFs. So this UDF calculate human readable values, and developer can create your own UDFs to make crypto data more accessible to others. And this is one of the track that we include in our Taiko Hackathon bounty here, which my colleague Shantan will describe more to you later. And we just launched our testnet this month. Here's a video I want to show you guys. Oh, that's a very short one. And here is just a use case we built with ACI for another ecosystem, but we use this as an example and reference for you guys to think about ideas you want to build on Taiko. So we use ACI to build a mental indexer for their growth campaign. This indexer can provide real-time updates on user assets allocation across 100+ protocols in their ecosystem. Yeah, and again, like Shantan will provide more examples that to share with you guys later. And here is the traction that we have so far. Hamira supports 20+ chains. We have a very comprehensive coverage on EVM data. And if you need cross-chain semantic data for the app that you want to deploy on Taiko, we're here to help. And now I will hand over to Shantanu. You want to speak about the bounty details, please?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Sammy. Hi, everyone. My name is Shantanu, and I'm a part of the Hemera team. Uh, to get started with, let's quickly dive into a couple of things that we have here on the Bounty side. So we essentially have two tracks. One is develop application utilizing Hemera's extensive features. So one is you can utilize the ACI network, the UDF, the user-defined functions that we already have, and you can build on top of it. So you can build in multiple applications. So we have three sectors that we'll be covering. One is socialify, gaming, and sorry. And yeah, then we have DIDs, which is decentralized identities. So I'll just go about each one of them, just a quick overview about what kind of applications that you can build, and then we can have like a quick get started guide. And then I can, then if you have any queries, you can reach out to me. So for socials, I mean, as Sami mentioned and the previous speaker as was mentioned, socials, you can build an exciting indexing application using cross-platform engagement tracker on top of Taiko. If you're building a socialify, if you're building a socialify generated application, you can aggregate all the user interaction across multiple social platforms or your own social platform that you're trying to build on top of Taiko. So that is first use case that you can try to build. Second is decentralized content recommendation engine. So there's a lot of content. One of the finest example is Farcaster. If you're a Farcaster user, you got a lot of content out there. So, I mean, just to give an example, but imagine having Farcaster on top of Taiko. And on the similar lines, if you want a recommendation engine to be built, you need a lot of data to be indexed. But using the UDF, the user-defined functions, you can make it very seamless. So you define what kind of data you want, you define the parameters that you want, and that's it. You can spin your own indexer network and you can get started as soon as possible. So two major breakthrough applications that you can build on top of Taiko using Amera. That is one of the gateways that we have. Talking about gaming, interoperable achievement systems. So if you look at gaming industries or any gamify application that you're trying to build, so tracking incentivization is a big problem right now. So if you want to track what are the incentives that a particular user is getting, or if you want to track the players' accomplishment across different games or different ecosystem projects in Taiko, you can easily do that using using Hamera. And last is the cross game asset utilization tracker. So if you have an asset on top of one game and if you have asset on the other game, just give an example. So you can easily swap them, you can easily play along, create your own UDFs. Things become very seamless. And lastly, decentralized identities. So when we talk about decentralized identities, one is reputation-based control system. So if you look at Discord, any server's Discord right now, they have a gated things, right? Unless or until you click something, you don't get an access. Unless you have this role, you don't get access to this particular channel. Imagine having that on top of a Web3 application or a protocol. So to do that, you can easily create managed apps, across on-chain analytics and all of those things you easily. Final and the last use case. I mean, this is just my last use case, but there is plethora of use cases that you can build on top of Taiko using Hamera. There is endless possibilities. So one is decentralized identity aggregators. So combining all the verification methods, KYCs and etc. together and creating an aggregator using Hamera. So yeah, these are a couple of ideas that you can build easily in this hackathon, in the Grand Factory campaign that is going on right now. But yes, if you have any more great ideas, feel free to reach out to me or the Hemera team on Discord. We'll be more than happy to assist in the entire journey. So yeah, to kickstart, the first step that I would recommend is to read more about ACI or account-centric indexing protocol that Hemera is. So the whole, we can drop this link as well in the chat so you guys can refer to it. And post that, what I would also recommend is to go through the documentation of setting up your own indexer network, writing your user-defined functions, and how to go about it. So yeah, all of these are explained in the documentation. But if you have any questions, any queries, the team is here, so you can reach out to me as well. I am available on Discord on the Hemera Discord @the coder panda. Reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help. So yeah, that's it. I think yeah, you can explore the product suite at thehamera.com. And all the documentation that I recently just mentioned are here. The social agent, you can also check this out. Pretty cool application built on top of Hamera. And yes, you can follow us on Twitter, both of our accounts. And I'll also drop our Discord. So you can join our Discord, say hi, and reach out to us if you have any questions.
Oh,
Perfect. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Yeah, over to you, Simon.
Yeah, I heard from Jorin that we will have a workshop next week, so it's the right time for us to go deeper into the details. So if you guys are interested to build on Hamira, then we can have a chat. Reach out to us on Telegram, on Telegram and Discord, or Twitter, or anytime to us. Yeah, and thank you guys. I will hand over to Yabia.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that was a great presentation, by the way. Cool. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have such a great deck to go through, so I'll try to explain myself the best way about what Gold Sky is. Gold Sky is also an indexing platform on Web3, just like Hemera. The approach we take is slightly different. Some of you may be familiar already with subgraphs, which is a technology developed by the Graph. So that's one of our main two products is our Gold Sky subgraphs, which is essentially completely backward compatible the Graph subgraphs, but we've added quite a few features on top to make it a lot more resilient and also a lot better from a developer experience perspective. So from that point of view, what we help you index data in real time in a very, very easy way with subgraph technology that you are more familiar with probably. And if you're not, we have a bunch of really good examples to go through, really the basics into how to develop subgraphs and deploy them to Gold Sky. On top of these features that I'm talking about, it's not only about making it more resilient and also much more stable. We take care of all the nitty-gritties in terms of making the subgraph performant, but also we help you develop subgraphs much easily by developing, for example, what we call the no-code subgraphs, which is essentially a way for you to deploy subgraphs without really having to write any code. You just basically look at your contract address, look at the start block and the network, and just with that data, we build the subgraph and deploy it for you. So that would be one thing we're focused on the subgraph side. Our other flagship product we have is Mirror. So Mirror is, we like to look at it as the next evolution in terms of data, on-chain data retrieval. We essentially, with subgraphs and most of the indexing technologies out there, they are pretty limited in terms of how you can query the data. The data many times is only queryable via an API endpoint. In the case of subgraphs, that would be a GraphQL endpoint. And so as your business grows and application develops and you start to hit more business requirements, it's a matter of time before that API endpoint is not going to satisfy your data needs. So what we do is that we created what's called Gold Sky Mirror. Mirror is a way for you to create real-time pipelines that allow you to combine on-chain and off-chain data and then stream it into the technology of your choice. So for example, if you have a use case which is all about analytics, you can stream that data into a ClickHouse instance. Or if you need to do some sort of fuzzy search, then you can stream the data into Elasticsearch, for example. And there are many cases where you can also, you may have a multi-chain app. And so what you can do is that you can deploy subgraphs into multiple chains and then use them as a source to feed this pipeline, which ultimately will aggregate all the data into your Postgres database. And then you can create an API on top of it. So as you can see here, the possibilities are endless because we allow you to get the data, transform it, and put it in the right technology according to your use case. So that's pretty much Gold Sky in a recap. In terms of the actual bounty challenge, I think I'm gonna send this to you guys in case you can share it with the audience. Maybe I can share my screen. Yeah, hopefully you can see my screen. So here the actual challenge, or let's say the bounty, it's really about making the best use of both technologies that I just described, right? You can take subgraphs and, for example, create real-time analytics dashboards, for example. And we see that a lot in terms of it could be for DeFi purposes. It can be if you want to see transactions data, if you want to keep track of means in a network, for example. You can get pretty creative in that aspect. And then the other thing is you can also make use of Mirror, right? I think this is very interesting because here you can combine multiple different sources of data, let's say raw logs, raw blocks from the network, combine them with your own subgraphs, and then stream them into multiple sinks that we have, which is they're documented here on our on our documentation. So you can see here we have a bunch of sinks, which is basically the data where you can put it into. And you can get really creative here. And this is really how we're going to be looking into, evaluating each project, like how creative it is, but also how much technically they can make use of the right decisions to make use of the right platforms, essentially, based on the use case. In terms of the funding distribution, it will be $3,000. First place, 1,500, 1,000 for the second one, and 500 for the third place. For you guys, as I said before, I'm gonna link here the docs page because that contains all the info that you need in terms of how to get started, how to open an account with Gold Sky, and do some tutorials. But on site, apart from that, I'm also gonna be giving some workshops on the basics of Gold Sky 101, where I'm going to be talking about indexing and subgraphs in general. And then a second section on Mirror, where I'm going to be deep diving into the actual nitty-gritties and examples on how you can deploy real-time pipelines into whatever database of your choice. We have 3 judges here. We have our CEO, Andrew, who is our customer success manager, and John, who is our technical services lead. They will be judging you and saying how good of a solution you've developed. So that's pretty much it. I will make sure to link this to you guys over here so you can also take a look at it. Let me just stop sharing. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing what you guys put together. So thank you.
Thank you, Javier. Thank you, Sammy and Shintaro from Hemera. That's some great bounties there. I did want to mention that these bounties are on top of the prize pool that Taiko has put up. So it is possible to qualify for all of the bounties at the same time, or just one of the bounties. So you can really kind of mix and match all of the technology that we have on the table here. It's open for you to hack on and build the best projects with the best tech. Also wanted to mention that we have a Discord channel, massive Discord server with a specific channel for you guys to come and land. You should already have that link there. But yeah, what you will have to do is or self-select the role of developer in the roles channel, and that will unlock the category for you, and you'll be able to see the channel there. And then yeah, everybody will have, all the bounty teams will have someone there to help you if you have any questions. And again, you're welcome there to go there and find new people to build projects together as well. Also wanted to mention that on the main DoraHacks page, we have a ton of ideas already there for you, broken down for the different tracks. So if you really have no idea what you want to build, but you know you want to build something, you can literally just go there, pick one, and if you want to know more about my ideas or Taiko's ideas about that idea, ask me in the Discord. But really, it's there are general and specific ideas there that you can just hack on and go to your heart's content. And lastly, both bounty teams have mentioned that we are going to have workshops for their technology so that you guys are best equipped to build with them, and those will be happening next week. And all of the scheduling pieces will be updated on the DoraHacks page, as well as announced on our socials and our Discord and everything. So get connected with us on the links that we've provided, and we'll take you on the journey for the next 2 months. Yeah, I think that's it for me. I want to kick it back over to Mishika for the DoraHacks kind of platform and what people will need to know about that.
Thanks a lot, Jorin. Thanks a lot, all of you. That was very helpful, saving me a lot of work over there. But yeah, to end it off, I actually quickly want to show all of you on how the submission process would look like. Although I assume a lot of you are already familiar on how to submit, and there is also a separate tab which talks about the submission process. But I will quickly share my screen for you and just talk it through. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, this is the hackathon page, and there are separate tabs. In fact, all of which we just spoke on. This is all the details of the hackathon, the details of the bounties, the tracks, the prize pool division, etc. When you go over here, this is the submission guide, but let me show you how it's done. So you register as a hacker. When you register as a hacker, is basically everything, all this quick information that we need from you, and submit, and you will be registered. When you register for the hacker, this means that you can view the ideas anytime, come on and submit your build. But what will this enable is, this will enable a set of notifications from the Taiko Grand Factory hackathon. And once you're ready with the project, once you have started building and you want to come on and submit your project, this is the button for you. You click on submit build. And now, like Jordan mentioned, you can also use an existing build, provided it's all with the right integration. It's built on Taiko, etc. So you can either use an existing build with the updated code base, with the updated project, etc. Or, like I assume most of you would ideally want to create a new build for this hackathon, create a new build. So you need to click on this one and continue. Um, you put a project name, let's say it's Taiko tab, just a dummy name for now. You put out a logo over here. Let me just put a random logo for now. My bad. Let me put another any logo over here. So this is, let's say, your build logo, and this is your vision. Basically, the vision is, let's say, a 4-5 word sort of a sentence which talks a little about your project. Basically, something I can read about and see what you want to do in the future. Reflects your roadmap, reflects a bit on your project. Select the category over here. Over here, I assume most of you are going to build in the crypto and Web3 category. Any further subcategory divisions that you want to give to your project. Then this is all the other chains that you've integrated, any L1s or L2s, etc. Any app chains that you want to do. And by the way, all of this is just additional information that you're giving to the hackathon organizer. So this is also optional. But yeah, then this is the GitHub link of your project, the repo. This is the project website, and it's highly recommended you actually add all of these three things, which is the GitHub, the project website, and the demo video. This talks a lot about your project, and gives the hackathon organizers a lot of clarity on your vision, on your project, etc. Um, so yeah, and this is the social links that you want to add in over here. This can be newsletter, this can be your Twitter, this can also be your website or your blog that you might have written, drilling down the technology of the project. Feel free to give at least one. So I'll just add a dummy link over here. Yeah. And yeah, once you click on continue, you will be asked a description of your link. Feel free to talk about what you're building, what technology you've used, your maybe a bit on your experience in the ecosystem and why you want to build on Taiko, etc. Um, any yeah, continue. And this is a bit about your team. What you can also do on DoraHacks is, let's say I, as the first member of my team, and let's say if I'm building in a team of 2 or 3 or whatever, I, as the first member, just created the build, but I also want to invite other members of my team and want to enable them to, let's say, edit the build or add more information, or edit it at any point. Feel free to add their email IDs over here, and yeah, they'll get a notification in their email saying that XYZ user has invited you to be a part of XYZ build, and yeah, therefore they can join your team on DoraHacks. Then this is the team information. Feel free to talk more about yourself, your experience, etc. This is also a recruit button. Let's say if I am um, sort of hiring or recruiting a backend developer, I'll turn this on and add in the recruitment information, etc. But this is definitely an optional thing that we've just enabled over here. We really want you to build long term, get your project a solid roadmap, and land it in the market. But yeah, I just add in the team information over here. Obviously, all of this is just sample dummy text that I'm putting. Then this has to be your Telegram, and this we sort of want to be able to get in contact with you if we want you to come in for the demo day, if we want to get in touch with you or so yeah, put your Telegram over here or any one of this actually. This would also help us to get in touch with you, to communicate with you efficiently. And yeah, then you select a track like Jorin and other folks over here mentioned. There are 3 tracks that you want to select, any one of it before moving on. So let's say over here I go with play hard, and yeah, submit for review. Now, when you've done this and your project is submitted for review, and if you don't instantly see it in the build section, don't worry. This is because it's under review. Once the organizer or any bounty partner have approved it from the backend, that is the time you will be able to see your project over here with all the other projects as well. So we often have hackers ask that, hey, I've submitted my project, but it's not visible over here. That's basically because the organizer has not yet approved it from the backend. Maybe wait for a day or two and then check back, and you can see your project over here says which doesn't have this under review button and is visible with all other projects. But yeah, I know it might be a lot to take in. That is also why we have a submission guide over here. Feel free to go through this. In fact, also feel free to go through the live stream on YouTube, Binance Live once again, if you want to, sort of revisit anything that any partner, bounty partner, um, or the organizer might have said. And feel free to go on these all the different tabs. Like mentioned, we also have the workshop series kicking in from next week, so that is also a source of information for you, source of, if you want to understand how to build on Hemera or Gold Sky, feel free to hop on to the workshop next week. And yeah, I think that was it from my end. Thank you so much for attending the opening ceremony. Super excited to kick this off with Taiko, Hemera, and Gold Sky. Thanks a lot to all the folks over here who came in to expand on this. But yeah, Jorin, any other words from you to sort of motivate or get the hackers along?
Yeah, no, just in closing, yeah, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you, DoraHacks, for supporting us, Hemera and Gold Sky for supporting us. Yeah, I'm super excited. Again, this is the first hackathon that we're putting on as Taiko, as a dedicated hackathon since our mainnet. So we just went mainnet earlier this year, and so there's a lot of they call it blue ocean. There's a lot of open space out there for you all to discover. And yeah, I'm excited to see what projects come out of this. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the chats on the live stream now, and we'll try and answer them if they can come in. But if we don't get to them, then for sure, come meet us in our Discord, and I'll be happy to help you out there. Yeah, I think that's largely it for me. And unless there's any questions coming in from the live chat, I think yeah, I think we'll just pick it up next week with our workshop series. And in the meantime, head on over to the Discord and start building teams and pitching your ideas, and we'll build this rocket ship as we take off.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. We've also put all the relevant links in the chat, by the way, and there's also a ton of it, which might be helpful for you as a resource to build on the hackathon page itself. But if any point in time you have any question about the submission process, feel free to hit me up. I am at MISHIA Mishika 251 on Telegram or Twitter, and you can also hit on Telegram. If you're stuck anywhere, we'll be more than happy to support you. And yeah, do join the Taiko Discord. That's the place where you can meet more hackers, potentially your team, and build together. So that will be amazing. But yeah, this is what we'll wrap it off with from the opening ceremony. And we'll see you next week in the live workshops. And yeah, once again, thanks a lot, all the folks who joined in today. Thanks a lot to all the partners. And yeah, I'll see you soon.
Take care, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, guys.